Hi everyone, welcome to this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're new here, welcome. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. Please excuse my voice. I'm still getting over a cold. Anyway, I'm like energy. I think those cold meds are doing something to me. I'm kidding. Or am I? You'll never know. I think that was the longest intro ever. Anyways, you asked, your wish is my command. This is my entire healing routine. Let me start with the ointments and stuff that I use. I use squalane. That is the only thing that I use as far as like a moisturizer goes. If you want to throw in the mupirocin as like a moisturizer, I wouldn't really count that. But I use that as well. That's more of like a precaution so that I don't get staph infections. I am a person that is very prone to getting staph infections. I get reoccurring staph infections. Oh my gosh. So I use on my lips Aquaphor every day. Probably just anytime I feel that they need a little extra something. And there's no set. It's just like whenever I feel like it. And then the mupirocin I use 2 times a day. And I wouldn't recommend that to anyone who doesn't have, or who isn't prone to infections on their lip. If you don't have, if you're not regularly getting infections over and over, you don't need to use the mupirocin. It could actually cause you to get yeast infection, yeast overgrowth on your lip. So do not use the mupirocin if you are not getting infections otherwise, because it will cause it. I just said that 3 times in a row, I think. But so that is the only 2 things that I use on my lips on a daily basis. Moving on to diet. I do not restrict anything out of my diet, and it's kind of my downfall, you know, because I have a huge sweet tooth, and that's really not good for me. But you know, your girl likes chocolate and cakes and sweets and just all of the good things. But you know, it is what it is. Recently, I have been eating a little bit cleaner though. I try to eat a lot of lean meats, a lot of whole grains, a lot of vegetables. I try to work in a lot of fruits. But if I want, you know, a sweet treat or an alcoholic beverage, perhaps, I'm not gonna stop myself from having it. However, if your exfoliative cheilitis is something that is triggered or made worse by your diet, that is something to consider. I would not recommend you to have that beer or that whatever if it's going to make it worse. That's also something to keep in mind. I don't notice that my diet really makes my my lips any better or worse. Okay, that's what I put on my lips. My diet. I exercise. This is something fairly new. I used to not work out at all. Was never an athlete or was never into sports in school. I was a theater kid, still am, through and through. I love the arts. What is this video? I don't know where this energy is coming from. I think because I've been sick for 4 days and just been in bed like dying, I'm finally like happy and like excited that I can like express myself. Anyway, so where the hell was that going? Oh, I was never into sports. So I never, well, you know, aside from being forced to run a mile in PE, which that doesn't freaking count. So I work out probably 5 to 6 times a week. I weightlift as my main form of exercise. I'm not saying that is something that you need to do, but I'm just telling you that is part of my lifestyle, is working out. Do I think that has anything to do with my recovery? I mean, it helps me get into the right mindset. It helps my mood, which I think helps my recovery. So something that a really popular person in the EC world, Daniel Miller, you might have heard of him, always talked about was like having a good mindset. And I never really truly understood what he was talking about, because I was like, well, I never have a good mindset. I'm always down in the dumps about my lips, so they'll just never get better. It just never clicked with me when he was talking about that. And it finally did, and I will go into depth a little bit about that. The healing process only started when I was working at a job, and I was so fed up with looking the way I was looking. And also, I was in front of people on a day-to-day basis, and I was constantly greeting people, and I was constantly the first person that everyone saw. So I knew, I was like, I cannot go on looking like this. And I knew like something had to give. So I was like, you know what? I'm taking control over this dang problem and not letting it rule my life anymore. Because it was just like, when you feel like you can't fix a problem and it's just like there and you feel like nothing's working and you're just like, and it's like it's like 100% your fault and like you're doing it over and over and over again, it's depressing as hell. And that was the moment for me. That was it. I was like, and I saw the moment, and I remember I was at Lupe Tortilla, and I was with my family, and I was like, I can't keep doing this. And they were like, we gonna help you. And so it was actually my mom who suggested the squalane. And then I got a UV light, and the ball started rolling from there. And I stopped biting my lips because I worked at that job, and I was like interacting with people on a day-to-day basis, and it wasn't even that I was in like the greatest headspace and I was super happy and everything was falling into place and it was the best workspace ever and I had, you know, the best coworkers and the best boss. It wasn't even that. It was that I was in the right it was that I was in the right mind frame. So you don't have to be the most positive person about yourself or about your lips or about anything. You just have to be in the right mind frame. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to have recovery in mind. What are you going to do about your recovery? Because it is up to you. And I was thinking about this earlier today, actually. Before all of that, and even in my job a little bit, I was just pity me, poor me, pity party all the time. And I sometimes felt like, because I feel so horrible on the inside, I need to like portray that on the outside, and maybe someone will come out of the woodwork and save me from myself. But it's not up to anyone else to save me. It's up to me to save me, to bail myself out of the sinking ship that I'm in. It was up to me to take recovery into my own hands and to realize that what I am doing is killing myself and my brain and my soul and my whole body. So in essence, being in the right mind frame of, this is what I need to do for my recovery, these are the things that I need to do every single day, is part of my everyday recovery routine. If you want to get better, it has to be your priority. That's the deal. That's the trade-off. It had to become mine, because I have given up a lot, and I want certain aspects of my life back that I haven't been able to enjoy. And if that is something that you want as well, that is something that you have to do. Alright, that is it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Actually, you know what? I kind of want to do a Q&A video. So please leave me a question down in the comment section, and I will make a video about it. So drop your questions in the comments down below, and let's make a freaking video about it, dude. Also, give it a like, subscribe, do all the good things, and I'll see you in the next one.